everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Raiders going up against the Cardinals. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. And they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponent points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their veteran quarterback, the former USC Trojan, Carson Palmer.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover, great moves in short areas.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Palmer. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Khalil Mack able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Andy Lee now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable for Thomas. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
One of the things I like to do when I'm scouting players is talk to those who knew him before. And I ended up finding out that Amari Cooper has been like a professional route runner since the time he was 6 or 7 years old. Has always taken the game seriously, has always worked on his craft, and you see evidence of that each and every week on an NFL field. Couple that with his athletic ability, it's one big reason he's finding himself open in the NFL.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Carr. And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. They'll need to get the play off quickly. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
On every snap, the defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Khalil Mack's been an all-pro for the last 2 years, but it only tells part of the story. In 2015, he was an all-pro at 2 different positions, defensive end and outside linebacker. And why? Because he's a hybrid. He can do anything you want. Rush the passer with his hand down, play with strength. He can also drop into coverage as an outside linebacker. I think he can cover tight ends and running backs with equal proficiency.
Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, Johnson fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Out of the gun, Palmer. Well, that's complete to Brian Quick. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, Palmer. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the red zone now, here's Palmer on 1st down. And Gresham has it left side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Mario Edwards in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers, because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And his kick here is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
A Raider first down, 17 yards.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
On first, here's Washington. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Staying on the ground with Washington. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamal Charles on the carry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now they'll throw with Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. on play action. Now Carr. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Offense.
So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Here's Marquette King now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one, angling for the sideline. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. A look at Carson Palmer now as we focus in on our player's spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now Palmer on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take, catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On second down, here's Palmer. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. Palmer to Brown, and the Cardinals move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Johnson, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And Palmer gives to Johnson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now they'll throw it with Palmer. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard near the 48-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdown. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. To throw on 2nd down. Palmer underneath for Johnson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Completes it to Quick. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
To throw again, it's Palmer. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Khalil Mack in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Palmer. This one complete to Gresham. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and goal, Palmer. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And this one is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. And a long way to go. They started that drive at their own 3, and they scored 3 from it.
What an excellent job by an offense that could have very easily just said, okay, let's just take a few plays safe, punt the ball away, and play some defense. Instead, they found a way to attack and put themselves in position to put points on the board.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Throwing on first down is Carr. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now Carr throwing on second down. And he's going to go down again. And the Cardinals going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. Throwing right, and that's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Carr now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Williams in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Carr to throw on second down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. The final shot here before half for Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. An update from Denver. The Broncos, they've taken an early lead against the Chiefs. Trevor Siemian, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Cardinals heading out on their opening drive. Max got the sack here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Cardinals take over late in the second. Palmer finds his mark in coverage, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 7-yard line. Still a little time left on the clock. Mac's got to get to the quarterback here. This will go as a loss of 10. So that'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Now let's get you back out to Glendale as we check back in with Brandon Gott.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
On second down, here's Carr. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's third down.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing his Carr on third down. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 23 yards on the play. And now a first down following that long gain. Here's Carr to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's caught. Roberts has it for a Raider touchdown. Seth Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have drawn even here, and they can take the lead with the extra point to come. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Out to kick is Janikowski. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On second down, Palmer. Caught, right side, Gresham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Palmer to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jamal Charles. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. To throw on 2nd down. Carr. Caught left side to Crabtree. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Play clock winding down. From the gun now on third down, Carr. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's got a first. Down as he's up to the 48.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Fresh set of downs here. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Third down, Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On is the punter King to send it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. it's Palmer. Wide open receiver complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Palmer. Jumping it off for Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Raiders have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And not the start that he expected. You look at the numbers, though, he's got back here to his elite level.
And I get the sense that the defense game planned a little bit different than what he expected. You know, he had an idea from watching tape what he should expect. They changed things up on him a little bit and caused that slow start. But the best ones, they take it as a challenge, and they come fighting back. And that's exactly what we saw there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Time running out here on the play clock. On 3rd down, it's Thomas. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. It's caught by Crabtree. And he gets it down to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Play clock winding down. To throw his Carr. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one is right down the middle. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. Now to return, this is David Johnson. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Shipped together here from the D-line. They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Over the middle here to Brown. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
One of the selling points of the in route is against the quarterback, a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Throwing now, Palmer on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall at the 33. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Boy, another example there of how you've just got to be fearless to go over the middle in this league.
No doubt about it. And if you want to be known as a Pro Bowl type of a receiver, if you want to get to the Hall of Fame, you're going to have to make a good number of catches in that area. And how about the hit he took from the linebacker? That's where you really make it, because a lot of times that hit is coming from behind you, from over the top by a safety. In this case, it may well come from underneath with the linebacker dropping out from the middle.
Encroachment, defense.
Let's get into the weeds here a little bit, partner. The Raiders last year, road games only, committed the most penalties in NFL history for the most penalty yardage in NFL history.
Yeah, hard to believe in something they have to shore up when they're playing away from home. On first down, it's Palmer. And this is incomplete. Brian Quick, the intended target. And it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. Again, it's Palmer. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
To Johnson again. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Janikowski now for the point after. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Carson. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Phillip Rivers, over 300 yards now and also 3 touchdown passes. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Aldon Smith in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
On
On second down, here's Palmer. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Cardinals on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be third and forever. Out of the gun, Palmer. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. That'll be their second, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. The D can only stop it 1 more time as they take the knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, off goes Carr, and on is Sebastian Janikowski. From the right hash, this from 33. And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. And just 21 seconds now as he spikes it to stop the clock. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From the gun, it's Palmer. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Gary and Conley, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Oakland, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.